Welcome back, Elf Hunters. It is a very tubular Tuesday today, and we kind of have an opposite day from yesterday, or a reverse out from yesterday a little bit. So let's take a look and see what's kind of going on. Yesterday, we kind of just continued to pull back in the middle part of the day. Nice little, I guess, bounce off the session lows and basically just sideways there. Second half of the day, not too much kind of going on there. Today, we had a little bit of a gap up. So far, just kind of sideways, not really doing a whole lot. We did gap up roughly 0.2%, about a 1/4% there on the SPY. That's about where we are now, just a little bit over 1/4% for the day. The Qs actually had a pretty good gap up today. You can see that they actually traded down and got negative yesterday for a good part of the day. And yeah, barely ended positive. So that's kind of what the Qs did yesterday. As far as today, though, they did gap up about 0.3%, looking pretty solid. Currently up about 0.4% there on the Qs, the IWM. So they had a very strong day yesterday, mostly the first hour and a half yesterday with that gap up and that run bullish. But it did come off the session highs. Nice little gap down today and currently negative. About 0.5%, because that's about what we gapped down today. We gapped down about 0.5%. So there you go. A little bit of a lower trade on the first hour. The DIA also gapped down today, traded down a little bit, bounced here over the past 30 minutes. RSP, basically a flat open there on the RSP, but traded lower. First hour, bounce over the past 30 minutes. Currently down about 0.3%. RSP pulling back a little bit. Kind of talked about that yesterday. Is like a little bit extended here, a little bit of too much time extended to be like, yeah, I'm going to be bullish on this, even though I get the momentum's very strong over the past 4 or 5 trading days, and it looks good, but you don't want to be bullish off an extension like that. Just give it time. Maybe it settles sideways or pulls back, whatever it is. Just want to give it some time. DIA. Yeah, pulling back, just kind of resting a little bit. Same thing here with the IWM, just kind of resting a little bit of a lower wick coming in today off that gap down. Qs, yep, the one spot that was actually kind of a little bit more bearish, not bearish on the day, but just more bearish than some of these other ETFs. But they did gap up today, and that's kind of just where they're at today. So kind of slow grinding higher a little bit there on the Qs. SPY at the high of the day and is continuing to push higher. Okay. As far as the markets go, that's about how things are going. A little bit of a reverse out from yesterday. VIX moving lower. Okay. Definitely getting into those mid to lower teens where it's just very easy for the market to keep grinding higher. These lower VIX type numbers. DXY dollar index. Did we really gap up that much? We did. Interesting. So the dollar, you can see there from close yesterday evening to the open yesterday evening for today's trading activity, actually had a pretty good gap up. That doesn't typically happen during the week, but it happened. Okay. Usually if you see a sizable gap like that, it's going to be like on a Monday or a Sunday evening, I guess when the futures open. But there you go. Anyways, DXY. A little bit stronger today. Did sell off pretty good, even though it did gap up, and obviously all it did is kind of check into that 10 EMA. So right now it kind of looks like we're just gonna kind of consolidate up here, and maybe we won't break down. It's gonna be really interesting to see what happens by close of today and tomorrow, because if obviously we get back down to kind of the lower levels that we put in today already, it could open up the door to seeing a deeper pullback. But if we just kind of hang up where it is now or a little bit higher, then it kind of sets up for really kind of seeing what happens tomorrow. I think tomorrow would be the real determiner if we're just going to chop sideways and then go higher later on, which that would be my bet, but tomorrow would be a really good indicator on that. Anyways, GLD Gold Trust. Just kind of hanging out today, not really doing a whole lot. We do have a little bit of room down to that 100 moving average. Maybe we'll see us push down to there, but a little bit positive, not really doing a whole lot. 10-year yield, big breakdown day yesterday, a little bit of a bounce back. Might just be starting to be in a consolidation area. This could be the breakdown, bounce, retest into the moving averages. So we might get the breakdown that comes maybe tomorrow and possibly even the half day on Friday, possibly down to that 50 EMA there on the yield side. So I would look and see how you play that on bonds. 10 and 2 inversion was right on that zero line yesterday. Today it's bouncing still above it. It did close above that. Actually closed like right on the zero line yesterday for the 10 and 2. How about the 10 and 1? Because the 10 and 1's a little bit, it's been a little bit weaker. The 10 and 1 got down to that 50 EMA, still trending, still negative. Did get uninverted there for a period of time for November, but last Friday came back down below the zero line. Got down to the 50. See if it bounces from there. The HYG. Oh my goodness, this looks super solid. I mean, if you want to possibly play this a little bit early, right? You could definitely say this is supposed to be on the neckline right there. Good grief, that was horrible. But you gotta like this pullback that we're getting today. Kind of getting a little bit of a lower spot. So if you want to be a little bit aggressive, be like a little bit premature, you can definitely hop in and say, you know what, I don't mind taking a shot here, because we did get a pretty good gap up Monday to start the week there on the HYG. So to say that we have a quick pullback and then we continue higher kind of makes sense to me. And all we kind of did was pull back to last week's highs, and that's kind of where we are now. So I mean, I kind of dig it. If you dig the possible head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders move, I mean, you gotta like that. LQD pulling back a little bit. Yeah, we had huge gaps on bonds to start the week, so not totally shocked we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today with some of the bounces on bond yields. Anyways, TLT, a little bit of a pullback, not really doing a whole lot. We might just be in a choppy zone. I mean, we were having a really hard time breaking down here over the past several weeks. You can see once we made that move in October down to these levels, we just chopped around a lot. And it was really hard for us to keep breaking down. So we just got that 1 day quick pop Monday. So we might just continue to be in a choppy area. So, all right. All right, as far as sector rotation for the day, materials coming back a little bit. They actually did pretty good yesterday. Energies underperforming. Real estate, financials, healthcare, industrial, staples all underperforming. Outperformers, discretionaries, tech, communications, utilities at the higher end of the day. As far as intraday price performance, we got utilities, discretionaries, and communications all doing pretty well. Everything else is underperforming. Industrials, financials, tech, staples, real estate, healthcare, with materials and energies at the lower end of the day. What is going on with some of the data that we're supposed to get today? So building permits a little bit higher, but a little bit higher than forecast, but it's actually down. Building permits month over month is actually down. Redbook, 4.9%. Housing price index. I don't track these, so I don't really know. New home sales. That's always a big one. Ooh, new home sales is down. Pretty good amount. It's supposed to come in at 730 million. Or not, 730,000. And it came in at 610,000. That's not good. Manufacturing, Dallas Fed survey. Yeah, there's just a lot kind of going on out there. We're gonna get FOMC minutes this afternoon, so just be mindful of that.